Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We're starting on a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. It's got to be a good day. Turnaround Tuesday, perhaps. Maybe we'll come into a little bit of demand here. Maybe we'll see a little bit of bounce. But before we get started, can I just go ahead and make sure that you guys can hear me? And if you can, cool. Don't forget also, if you cannot join in on my screen, make sure that you guys can join in on the admin screen. So again, admin is streaming off of mine. Baron, great idea, man. What a save on that idea, and I really appreciate that. We are going to get started here. A couple things that I have in the background is just my personal, Ashley account, checking that out. Got my account on blast here for you guys to see as well. Have some long-term trades in there. And before I get started with the ES futures, typically I'll start there. Since we're looking at NASDAQ here on my screen, I want to go over this really quick, okay? So if you notice in focus trades, that's where Melissa went ahead and put her two names that she'll be looking at today, Meta and XOM. And it's funny, Melissa, I actually started charting Meta, finished it, was about to post out to Twitter and in here, and noticed that you had. So here we are again, arriving at the same name. So I love that. And we're pretty close. I like to see, it just depending on what happens. We'll see what you have to say. But the market, is down a tad a bit, and I'm looking to add into my long-term trades. We are coming into, I think, 3 days down and about 3 weeks down. Notice that the NASDAQ, again, since I have this on my screen, let's just go over it. There's NASDAQ. This over here are our alerts that come straight from our Thinkorswim that are tied into the API. So as soon as we take a trade, it sends here in milliseconds. It'll let you know if we make money, if we lose money. It's very transparent. And if I take a trade here and you don't see that I ever close it and it expires, that means it went to zero. Down here is the watch list. And these are just some of my favorite names that I like to look. This is the PMZ scanner. This will turn on about 5 minutes after open. It'll start, blasting with different colors and let me know kind of where price is. And then right here, this is the Trendy Edge scanner. So this lets me know if we're in demand or supply on all these different names. So this is what I use almost every day I come in here. NASDAQ, what I'm looking for, notice that the trigger longs are 12,158 by 11,965. Notice to the left-hand side here, we have an inside and out formation. This is the mother candle. This candle closed inside that mother candle. This is an up candle. This is the mother upper, right? Once we lose buyers up here, price likes to come back where there is demand. It's kind of like your favorite pair of jeans, right? If you bought them at $150 and you really, really like them, but now they got holes in them, or maybe you bought them with holes in them. Who knows? It's 2023, right? We're kind of bringing back the 80s, I think, in the 90s. But anyways, if your favorite jean goes on sale for $50 and you paid $120 for it, I think you're going to go back and probably buy a new pair, right? This is the idea here, supply and demand. So right in this area is where I would expect buyers to show up. So notice that I put a note in here. I have some Amazon and Google, I believe 120 plus days out. I scaled in and went very, very small. And those are unrealized loss right now, like 30% or something like that. And this is the next place that I'm looking at adding that Amazon and Google. Okay, just so you know. And when I add into it, it's still very small. Okay, small is perspective, right? It kind of depends on how big your account is. If you even like the idea of adding in when things are going down, it's not easy. Right, but it is a process for me for these long-term swings. I just wanted to show you that area. So once we get there, I want to go ahead and create an alert. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And even if you're not in anything, what we could be looking at are futures when we come down to here. Let's go ahead and create an alert if I can find it. I've been doing this for so long and sometimes I have a hard time finding the create alert. At or above, look to add Amazon, Google. And so this will pop up on my phone or right here, obviously. And I meant to say below. So we got to do that over. Okay, create alert, add or below, Amazon, Google, and create. Okay, so that will put the alert on there. Once we get down there, I'll have an idea that we're down into demand. Now, please understand that just because it hits here, I have to assess a couple things on a small time frame, and then I'll decide. Okay, so it's not like an automatic. We need to address the market and see what's going on. Now, since we're sitting here on NASDAQ, let's go ahead and change things up a tad. So NASDAQ is about 42, 44 points to every dollar. I always tell you what the ES is. ES is 10 to 1, basically. 10 points for every dollar in the SPY. This is about 42-ish or somewhere around there for every dollar. If I'm looking for a price to come down into this trendy edge or trigger long, you could do the math, 12,249 minus 12,158, and you get an idea of how much the Qs could come down. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and come over here and take a look at the smaller time frame. All right, here we are, 4 hour. We're into a little bit of area. See this big chaotic candle? This is the same thing that we're seeing on the ES futures. So this is the same thing that we saw several weeks ago to maybe more than a month. We created a big chaotic candle. We ran out of buyers. We came back to that demand, and then we started the rally again. So right now, the 4 hour on NASDAQ is pretty close to this area. Like I said, I like to see it dip in a little bit, but I do believe that the market is going to have like somewhat of a relief bounce here into the open, and that's just kind of give you some hope that prices will turn. But I do like them a little bit deeper. All right, I just want my things a little bit cheaper this week. That's all. All right, I'm not a bear, not a bull, just being kind of unbiased and looking for market to be pretty choppy. Now, we were right. So let's go over here to the ES futures. I bought some butterflies to the downside to target this area. And so far, I think we're at the money or just in the money or very close to at the money. And so we did gap down like I was expecting. And we broke through this little bit of support at 40.56. Let this support now be resistance. If you're paying attention on a 4 hour chart, I'll zoom in here. Notice that the cloud up here is resistance until proven otherwise. The further we drop and the faster, it's actually better, folks. A lot of people get scared, but it's like my favorite thing. So if we can drop, what happens is we create a big divergence between price and the cloud. And when we create that type of divergence, we have a really nice snapback rally that pushes us back into and or around that cloud. So the further we drop and the faster we drop, it actually becomes really exciting. Also on ES futures, if we come over here to the daily, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll go to auto. This is what I'm looking at. So 3 days down. I left this as is from last week. We hit that first trigger long. We did get a bounce from there, but now we're breaking down. So my next trigger long is around 40.29. I put these on here, like I said, guys. I primarily trade supply and demand and Fibonacci's, but I'll put rails on here and channels and stuff to kind of just give you guys an idea. A lot of people resonate with this, so I don't have a problem showing you, but please understand that I don't trade off of this stuff. But what I do want to show you is that a lot of times there's confluence. So look, you got this rail going down this way. It is confluent with my trigger long, which also happens to be inside and up formations. And so therefore, that little tool can help you to feel a little bit more confident or feel consistent in this particular trade that we may get a bounce here. Okay. So again, what I'm looking for is around this 40.29 area. And if we come over here to the weekly, folks, just like the 3 days down, we're actually 3 weeks down at the moment. Now, it's only Tuesday. All right, but futures were open yesterday. So again, 3 weeks down. And if we go back and we look at the patterns in the market, 3 weeks down is pretty much, a good time to be looking at a potential bounce. Now, do you wait until today? Do you wait until Friday? I can't tell you. Timing is the variable. But what I can at least try to coach you and explain to you is if you go back and you look at the market and you pay attention to the last time 3 weeks came down, the last time 3 weeks came down, you will see a pattern that the market goes bid around this area. Okay. And you can go back and you can look back as far as you want. Here's another 3 weeks down, guys. I can't make this stuff up. This is just called pattern recognition. Okay. Pattern recognition. I am recognizing the fact that when the ES futures come down 3 weeks in a row, it is highly probable that we're looking for some sort of bounce. Okay. So what am I looking for? Confluence in that thesis. So, hey, there's an inside and up formation. There's a 50 fib here. So this is what we call demand formations. Okay. So a nice little dip in here, I think would be really nice to get people a little bit more on the fearful side, but we'd be coming into confluence And then again, timing will be the variable. On a smaller time frame, we'll come over here really quick once we get there on a 5 minute, and we'll pay attention to the TTM Squeeze Pro, right? And even if you don't have a Pro, that's okay. What we're looking for, okay, is red bars down into my levels. See these red bars on the histogram? They're red, they're red. They get to a trendy level. That just means a level that I said, hey guys, look for this level to work. Even if you don't have that level, it's okay. If you have your own special level, just look for this, okay? And when we get down to your level or my level, and we start to see yellow histogram bars down here, what this is letting me know is that the selling pressure is basically easing up, okay? So again, it's this pattern recognition. So price comes down into a level, it's typically red bars, okay, right here. And then once it finds a little bit of love and that selling pressure stops, it goes yellow. And if you notice, if we were going to go yellow, then boom, the market starts to move to the upside. Okay, so again, let me just show you. Let's say that we have a trendy level. We're going to make it pink. It's right here. The market would come down. These bad boys would be red. And just be patient. Once it comes in there, starts to go a little bid. This will start to turn yellow. Okay, let it mellow when it's yellow. And about 2 in, that's where we want to be looking to go long. Now, I will tell you, a lot of times I tell you 2 bars. Sometimes I'll just take the trade as long as my bracket order is set up and as long as I'm okay with my stop. Notice that the ES future, as far as the PMZ is concerned for today, we have 7.5 points of risk. The reason why is there's a little bit of volatility. Plus, if you guys would have noticed when the futures were open yesterday and the day before, your PMZ and your line in the sand were kind of weird. And the reason that it does that is because the abbreviated hours. Just ignore it. Don't ask me why. Just ignore it. Okay? Wait until we start getting into our normal trading sessions. Things will start to look a lot different. Okay? So again, right now though, the risk is 7 points. 7 points is quite a lot. And so for me, this is an MES kind of day. I would rather trade micros. That's just me because of the volatility. I don't mind trading ES futures if you have an idea where you think price may be going. We could trade butterflies off that, debit, credit spreads, all kinds of cool stuff. Okay. So the PMZ triggers for today, as of right now, it is 15 minutes before the open. What my triggers are saying is you go long at 40.62 and a quarter and go short below 40.54 and 3/4, and your risk is 7.5 points. And again, let me go ahead and show you really quick what that looks like. So say we have a PMZ on here like this. It is 7 points wide. 7.5 is your risk. If PMZ is above price, what you'll notice is that price will come into a level. It'll start to bounce. As we get closer to this, this is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. How do we want to trade this? How do I like to trade it? I prefer, instead of being too aggressive, and again, it does depend on mood, okay, is that price comes in here, and then when it decides to break down, I'm short. And then my stops are where they need to be. Since it's 7.5, I'm okay with MES at 10 points. And then I'm looking for price to come back down. Now, if price comes up here and it doesn't give you that look, and then it just takes off, then I'm long here. And then my 7-point stop is here. And I'm looking to trim or close into targets that we've identified up and to the left. It's really straightforward. Okay. So this is what I'll be looking at today on the 5-minute. Whether we're trading NASDAQ, oil, ES, ZB, all of this stuff is the same process on any chart, okay? Now, the overall market, what's it doing this morning? When I look at my watch list and I take a look here, everything pretty much, for the most part, looks like it's down, okay? And that's not surprising. The market's down a little bit, okay? We can also go over to our like I say, Trade Flash on Thinkorswim. It's one of my favorites. If you don't have it, please add it. This is what Trade Flash looks like. This is just kind of some ideas. So you take the process that I teach you and then you apply it to the charts. So for example, these things are, they're up right now and they're telling you, hey, DocU's down 6%. This is down 9%. This is up. This is down. Just play the process or look for a PMZ trade off of that. Okay. And that I like to use that just for some ideas. Now, one thing that I noticed in the market today was Walmart kind of took a beating, but it came right into a level that I identified last week. It came into a demand zone, earnings pushed it down into demand, and then it popped from 140 into 142.81. Just another example of how demand works regardless of the catalyst. The catalyst is the reason why price moves to demand or supply. You will love catalysts. You wait for these areas to get hit, then you execute. Okay? That's all we're doing. Today is really important that we stay patient. Let's go ahead and go over here into SPY and QQQ neutral strategy. This is the ones that I pushed out over the weekend. These are your levels. Take a screenshot really quick. If you did not or you do not have them yet, you should. They're in the room and in the newsletter. Notice that price did break down below the neutral at 404.13. So if you're trading shares, you're already short. You got really close to our first target of 402.80. And as I said in my write-up this morning, I'd expect a little bounce right into the open. This is just to kind of give you a little bit of hopium that the market is not going to continue down. Okay, here's QQQ again underneath the neutral, not quite into T1, but you can see what's going on. Just read this out loud to yourself right now. 404.13 is resistance, 402.8 is support, 298.45 is resistance, 296.49 is support. You are in the middle. You can decide whether or not you want to diddle in the middle. It's a cool thing that we have a process to be able to trade this. Matter of fact, let me just show you really quick. Let's say that you don't know what to do. You simply come over here to SPY, and SPY has the risk up, right? Risk is 24 cents today, okay? So if I want to trade the PMZ off of SPY, I can simply just trade it according to the PMZ. So like I tell you not to diddle in the middle, but the PMZ gives you an opportunity to trade in the middle because there's a process with this, okay? Anyways, I don't have a whole lot that I want to cover. Like I said, Melissa picked Meta, same exact name I was looking at, so she'll go over that. Walmart, I'm watching because it's moving out of demand. And Apple, I just kind of have my eyes on it to see what it's doing. And then far as my long-term swings, like I said, if we dig a little bit deeper, I'll be looking to add into those. If there's any questions, please let me know. If not, then we'll go ahead and get started with Melissa, who I believe is in Nashville, kind of last minute. So she's in Nashville now. All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Let's have a great day. Hmm. All right, guys, there's the move right into the zone there. And let's see if I can get into the line in the sand. We'll just go really small here and kind of fill it out. So I went long there at the meta zone. And we're just kind of messing around, kind of scalping, see what happens. Okay, just kind of show you how the zones work. You can take a little bit of money off. You got to be ready. You can't be slow. That's why we talk 30 minutes before, right? So we're just trimming, trimming, trimming. So this was my zone that I had on here. Let's see. And then we'll trim at the top there. Okay. All right. So right here, this is what it looked like, by the way. Okay. See how that zone worked perfectly? We're going to trim again. Now you can bring your stops up. Okay. And I would go just about 5 cents above our entry. That would just kind of make sure we don't get any slippage. Okay. All right. And here on SPY, your risk is about 29 cents. Excuse me. And then if we want to close our SPY, we can go ahead and do that too. And see what happens. Let's look at Amazon. All right, made about $1.95 there. Gonna close out my SPY. All right, and then Meta went from the zone into the PMZ here. Walmart's still picking up. Looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and start scanning here. So easy, solid trade there. Using zones on Meta, pretty straightforward. The next thing would be, let's go over here to NASDAQ and see what we have. And now let me get up here and take, you guys can hear me, right? Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. All right. And then in Amazon and NASDAQ. Let's look at NASDAQ really quick. QQQ. These PMZs are wide today, like really wide. Let me pull up Amazon here. All right, Amazon. Let's see if it can get over the PMZ. And I'll actually add into my long trade regardless. Let's see what do we got here. Yeah, if it can get above. So far, looking pretty weak. Oil's down $2.28. Makes sense. Seasonality, push it down before we open up for spring break and people start traveling and stuff again. And we'll close out Meta for $2.24. I showed you guys on Friday how to set up options. You could have easily taken that trade with options as well. Now the trade is starting from a PMZ perspective, so you can get back in the trade and say, okay, as long as it doesn't close below 175.43. So we'll do, something right there. It's already had a pretty big rally. We could be looking at like 180, 180, 182. I'm going to go with something way out of the money just to kind of fill it out and see if it can get going and let it come in a little bit. Let's see. We go down to meta. All right, so this is where I went long. All right, just found a zone and then took the long from there. And then if I measure from here to here, what I wanted to do was try to, yeah, it's gonna, oops, sorry, damn it. So we're gonna go out of the money there. Damn it, come back. Where are you? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh my goodness. Okay. Where did you go? There did you go? Okay, right there. Sorry about that. Jesus. All right. see. Let's go back over here to Amazon. Let's go to the PMZ, see if we can get some PMZ trades going. I have BAC in here. I have TLT. I have NASDAQ. I have oil. Is that right? Wait a minute. Oil shot up. Now it's positive. Was it just down $2? That was insane. Am I seeing that right? Oil futures. The big money. It like I could have swore, unless I had it wrong, it was up or sorry, it was down $2 and now it's up a dollar. Does that sound right? Okay. Yeah. Nice trade right out of the PMZ there. Dipped in a little bit, took off. Mhm. All right, stops in on Meta. Just trying to just trying to day trade right now until I start to feel a little bit more warmed up. These are up about 35%. And there's a stop. 10% just like that. Gone. And bigger picture, 180. Let's go to I'm just gonna mess around with Meta here. Let's go to a 4 hour chart. Yeah, the 4 hours is just breaking out of the cloud, Melissa. The weekly edge is at 180. I would expect it to pull back from there. But bigger picture could see 190 if indeed somebody, the market's looking for something to be a little bit stronger. So on a pullback here, I might once again buy out of the money and just have a little bit of fun. Um, Try to have some fun. Hmm. Okay. Do some way out of the monies. This is a lotto for me. Don't let this deter anybody from taking, Melissa, if you're looking for something. I, I've already made my money here and I'm just doing a lotto now. Yeah, I was looking at that's why I loved it. I saw your after I'd put it together this morning. I don't know if you guys were watching me, but I pulled up her chart on the screen. I was like, okay, cool. You had like a target or a zone right around where I wanted to get long. So It worked out. Now I'm just trying to see if we can get anything else. Like, I gotta go back to Amazon. I don't know if it went above the PMZ. I don't think so. Nope. Mm. Yeah, and Amazon's doing the same thing right now. It's just trying to see if they can get through them or not. I'm trying to, I want to watch. Let's see, what did our, yeah, yeah, exactly, right? So the PMZ, I think, probably gave you an opportunity, right, guys? So if we would have come over here, okay, and then it smacked that 404.13 or whatever, or 402, yeah. And honestly, I think if we start to go, if for some reason we start to break down below, then I'll go short. But let's see, 403.61. I just, again, just fill out a little bit of equity. Let's see here, and then we could look to try to short it into here. Might go for like 400s if we break down below, but just know that we can pop really hard right back into 404.44. It's just, it's so volatile. I mean, if you look at it from, yeah, just looking at it like this, pretty crazy. The abbreviated hours for ES and stuff threw off the PMZ, so I think we get tomorrow we get better data for the PMZ. So because honestly, there shouldn't be 29 cents risk on SPY and 7 points on the ES. It should be, yeah, it should be, and this happens when we have abbreviated um, hours, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow. It should be around the same. It should be like 3 points, and 29 cents. So what was that one name that we kept looking at that was getting hammered? J and J. I'm gonna go back to that. And I was looking at XLV over the weekend. That was kind of like the chart I was interested in. Again, I don't know, if it would be worth it or sorry. J's down another dollar. Jesus. Look at it. Wow. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7 weeks down into the lower YE, Melissa. Hmm. Well, so look at that trajectory though. I mean, this would be if you and I were looking at this on a 5 minute, we would be, yeah, we would be looking for a V recovery big time. I mean, I'm really tempted to buy here, like scale in on some sort of pop. Does J&J fall under XLV? Okay. This is interesting to me. I mean, you have a lot of support too. I mean, anyone that just uses regular support lines, it's literally right there at the trendy edge. I think, did we hit our target down here? Pretty close. So I'm trimming out of the SPY short. And like I said, until I really like feel confident, I mean, you could sit here and say that we're trending obviously to the downside, but I hate buying options to the downside when we're already down. It's just hard for me sometimes. If you bought those 400s, then that's awesome. Then you're making some money. I did. Then I closed this morning, and now I'm short equity. And I want to make sure that we only have a little bit. So a close here or a stop at 403.60 on SPY. And then I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna try a little bit of J&J here, guys. Don't, I mean, if you're not feeling it, don't do it. It's an ugly effing chart. So it is not pretty. Scared money makes no money. Just kidding. What would we be looking for? I mean, you got a flush low. Maybe 161? 162? Mm. Did you see HD this morning? Oof. I thought, did they report today? My God. Remember what I told you with the yearly chart? Yeah, the yearly chart, guys, if you've not been with us for the last several months, my analysis was based off of a yearly, and this one's going to be hard. I mean, but this is an inside and down, folks, and we have not had an inside and down since 2000, or sorry, 1999, actually 2000. So this to me says that Home Depot is coming to 250. It also tells me that I feel like the market, so supplies, Melissa, are going to drop significantly. That's just my thought. Because I'm like, how does Home Depot's, they've been frothy with the prices of wood and supplies, but my buddy who builds homes out here came by yesterday and hung out with me, and he was telling me that he showed me some texts, and he's like, all these people are now looking for work. Some of his, he's a general contractor, and he's like, now they're contacting me, and they're like for example, his siding person was like, working for bigger projects, $9 an hour, which is pretty expensive for that type of work, and or not. No, $9 like a square. I forget how they do it, but my point is, at the end of it, he over a 3 day period, he said he broke it down all the way to 750. And he's like, I'm getting a lot of texts like this, so now people are looking for work. Things are getting too expensive, so people are like, I'm probably not going to do this, right? And I mean, to me, that's where we see these changes soon. And then it all starts kind of working like it should be. Things come down, people start to, be a little bit more open to doing projects a little bit cheaper. So it's funny you say that as I'm sitting here looking at the pool and everything else that we're doing. I've already said that I probably literally bought right at the top. Seriously. No. Exactly. Mm, mm, a lot. Yeah, for sure. Need to check out JPM. I don't have as much time over here. Yeah, JPM breaking underneath. Um, this cloud, man, looks pretty dangerous. Down to 138. Probably give it about 30 more minutes. Yeah, I'm not Dogbird. I'm not sure. I apologize how to answer that question. I bought it and it went up because price went up. That's that's my easy answer. But they're just scalps. Yeah, just scalp. And after I had already taken equity, the reason why I went out of the money is so that I didn't lose my money that I traded in equity. That's a cheap answer. Yeah. I didn't want to risk any more than what I'd risked on equity, if that makes any sense. All right, guys, I think we came in. Did we come into our target on SPY? So I was waiting for four. Yeah, we sure did. 402.27. Now let's see if we can. So 402.27 about right here. Let's go ahead and close. All right, and now, so we close for 70 cents. And now what I'm going to do is buy back. I'm going to go long, and my stop's going to be the close under uh, the 27 area. A 5 minute close under the 27. And it's okay if I'm wrong. We're trying not to lose all of our money, right? Oops, sorry. So I don't always trade like this for anybody that's new in here. I just feel like being a little bit more active this morning. But it really can help to sharpen your skills, in my opinion. Just trade some equity around the levels that we provide and see how you do. You don't even have to trade a lot. Do like 3 shares, man. 3 shares of everything. Just try 3 shares on your PMZs, 3 shares on edges, trim. Get in the mode of understanding where to trim, how you want to trim, and so forth. Does that make sense? I mean, it costs nothing to get into these shares, meaning there's no commission in or out. So it's not like you're wasting money. If anything, this is your tuition cost of learning. Let's see, Disney 115 days out, Amazon. Let's look at Disney really quick. Down $2. All right, there's our first trim on the long. And then what we'll try to do, trying to look at Disney. If I add to Disney, I'd like it to be under 100. So I'm gonna wait. There's there's a really nice demand zone around 99.27. So, and all I'm doing, guys, is I'm literally just trading our neutral strategy. That's it. Okay. Like no bias, just trade this neutral strategy. So I went short into the targets, right? And then just basically turned it around and then went long. I had a 402.27 target um, on a 5 minute chart that I did, but I went short because of the PMZ. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, you can put your stops in now. We're just again, just trying to show you like how you want to do stuff. So you could do like Melissa when she's on a roller, man, and making those really big percentage gains. You could come in here and just, um, you could measure. So one thing you could do is measure, right? So if you come here at a 4 hour and you come down to the pivot low, what we know right now is that the 38.2 is going to be resistance, right? You could put your stops in the money where you are, right? You could wait and be patient to see if we can clear and stay above this 402.80. There's many things that you can do. And then what you'd want to do is you can come in here and you could place, like I'll just show you like one share at a time. I could say, okay, where's that control Z? Where's that 402.92? You could come up here and just right before that, you could put like shares in here to trim. You could come up to the 618 and you could put a trim in there, and just move these around if you wanted to. Okay. On QQQ, I would like for it to come in, if you guys remember, if we can get it to come in a little bit more, um, to, let's see, let's look at NASDAQ really quick. I think we're on a 4 hour. No, it was the daily. Sorry. So, see, it just really looks like it wants to come down into 12,158. And if that's the case, that means we drop another dollar, dollar and a half in the Qs. So, let's see. Walmart, what a nice push, man. Right into that demand zone and straight up, I think. Let's see. Let's look at PayPal. PayPal has kind of got my attention lately. Yeah, Dogbird. I've never used those, man. So if you ever want to sit down and actually teach me how to use them, I would I would definitely be open to that. But here's my thing, man. This is my answer to you. Can you hear me right now? Are you on you're listening through audio? Okay, cool. So, honestly, man, this is my best answer for you because I remember years ago somebody was using the Analyze tab, and I think I knew how to use it for about a day. But what I realize is that if you have a process that works, timing is always the variable, right? But we're on the open, right? Here we are on the open, and if the PMZ works immediately, dude, you're gonna see value in many strikes above, you know. You're gonna get that delta. To me, the easy math is like if the underlying equity price moves $1, and let's say that was a delta 25, I'm going to make $25 per contract on that move. Timing is the variable. So if it went sideways right after I bought the PMZ and we did nothing for 3 hours, then I could actually lose value. The Analyze tab I think is great. And again, I don't know how to use it, but I think it's great for people who are more into like selling credit and looking at those type of things. Just from my observations. I've never used it. But it sucks. It sounds like to me if you used it and it said we had to hit 185 in order to make money, but we actually made money, that Analyze tab is broken. I'm sure it's not, but all right, let's see. Ah, is it already down there? The ES is? Oh, wow. Doo doo doo. What in the world, man? So maybe I should take some futures down here. I don't know why my screens keep messing up. There we are. Okay, so right around here. La da 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 da. Well, we closed under 40, 402.27, and so I am going to, oops, buy just a couple more here. Then I'm going to go on a stop at 401 and some change. Next target down is 399. We need to reclaim that 402.27 from a neutral strat. Okay. If you, oh my gosh, I got a, my throat is so dry. Wait a minute, guys. Oh my God. We just made money again. Jesus, this is easy. You're welcome, Brittany. I swear, Melissa, sometimes I'm like, I don't know why I trade swings. You know, I'm, I'm over, I'm over here sucking on unrealized losses, man. And like just day trading, I think is so much easier, especially like when you're in the mood, like just to take stops and trims, and it just works. But to be fair, but to be fair, we kind of felt like the move down was going to happen. So I want to talk about this, right? But the timing was really a huge variable. They chopped it to pieces, right? It just wasn't easy. I'm gonna sell the rest of my SPY because I think I might jump into futures. But it was hard. I thought it was extremely hard. But looking back, when you look at the charts, like ES futures broke below the trendy edge. You just stay short. There's no reason you got targets down here. And so, I mean, in hindsight, 41.52 and a 4,000 was actually a pretty easy trade if you didn't get caught up in watching the charts every minute. And to be quite honest, I was caught up in the charts. And so it felt like it was choppy to down, but then we kept getting those violent moves to the upside, and it really threw off the premium of the puts for a lot of different trades. So I just felt like, this is where it's difficult. If we time a perfect inside and down and we get the cycle down, um, it's awesome. You wake up the next day, you gap down, you start taking profits, but they didn't do it like that. See, if you go back several days, actually, on this chart, guys, they pushed it up after moving it down. They pushed it up from an edge. Okay, it came up, it hit some resistance. We knew that, but they pushed it so hard. You have to remember, if you try to go short here or here, you got smoked. Absolutely smoked, man, on this move to the upside. And then they did the same thing. They pushed it up once again. You got smoked. And then they dropped it hard. So this was, in hindsight, looks easy, but I just don't think it was easy trade. All right, J&J is positive. So watch it. You could put in, if I were you, I'd put in like orders to get filled if for some reason the market does turn around. I think we could start trimming around 40 cents or so. And the biggest thing there is just to watch for it. On MES, guys, if you're trying to trade micros here, you're trying to go long down here with 10-point stop, and then bring up your stops when you start to get, some sort of profits. So, yeah, it is definitely. Job, Dave. Let's see, SPX 4050s. What do those look like? Those are expensive, man. No, thank you. If you're thinking about a lotto idea, maybe the 4080s here in a minute, maybe at 50 cents on the call side. A lot of times, guys, when I think of like lotto ideas and stuff, I'll actually put them in Ashley's account. It is interesting. They have, I don't know if people are just selling those, but they have about 10,000 in volume there on the 4080s. That'd be a big bounce, man, considering we're not really getting a huge move here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be back. Let's see if this area can hold. I think so. Is somebody outside? I'm like, I need to go check. I'm like hearing things. AT Camp, I'm back now. I'm trying to see. Oh, is this a premium chart or is this a regular chart? Give me 1 second. 9 EMA on what? Is that a weekly? Okay. My 9 EMA on Netflix is way up here at the top, man. So I'm not sure. Uh, I don't know which one's your 9 EMA, but mine's not even close to there. We're underneath the 9 EMA. On, oh, sorry. Shit, man. Why is that on a 4H? Give me a second. I have my stuff all mixed up, dude. Sorry. There it is. Okay. I got you. And I bet if we measure from the most recent rally, that's probably around 23 or 38%. So right here, come up from this move here into the pivot high. Yep. So there's confluence there, man. You take the most recent rally that started 1226 into the pivot high, and you got these two right here. So some confluence, and then there's an inside and down. So if it were to pop, could see 346 maybe. Yeah, 338. I should have popped it down here at 339, dude. I walked outside. I don't know where price was when you sent that out, but it was definitely at a close spot. We could wait. It could come a little bit down though. I think if gets close to 338 or so, could be worth trying to take a shot. There is demand at 300 though. 297 by 272. The question is, does it stay in this bullish channel or not? I need to take a look at Google and see if it's at a place where I want to add folks. Let's see. No, because I think no, that was Disney. Yeah, that's an important piece of the process, like Melissa saying. And a lot of times Melissa doesn't look at her PL percentage. She's just looking at, yeah, just she's just trading her process. So sometimes it's the complete opposite. She's up 600% and has no idea. Yeah, that's funny. 3 weeks down on Google. It's the third week down, anyways. Amazon, Disney, Gold, Google. I'm listening to John in the background if you guys can hear that or not, just in case. It's pretty quiet though. Um, I'll be right back, guys. I went outside. I'm bleeding all over. I went outside. I swear, the older I get, the clumsier I get. But I went outside and our deck is completely torn off. And went out there to talk to my buddy Eric, who's building it. And when I turned around to step up into my house, I gashed my yeah, I gashed my leg on like a something out there. So I had to wash it for like 10 minutes and clean it and whatever. But I am long here from the trigger long guys at uh, down here at the bottom on futures. I had a 12-point stop. I'm gonna take easy money real quick. I'll probably this thing will run 20, 30 points and then I'll be like, damn it. But I'm gonna close about right here before I go wash up. So easy trade. I mean, just trade the freaking lines. I mean, seriously. I feel like I don't like to say easy, but when you look at it and it's doing exactly what we thought it would do, um, I like to use the word easy. Anyways, I'll be right back. Hey guys, just checking back in here, and I see the market hasn't really done anything. TCAMP, I like the risk to reward there. Curious if they just kind of play around in this zone for a bit before making a real move. It's a little. They are breaking the cloud though. This is the first time they broke the daily cloud and staying under it. Did you? Hey guys, want to give you a quick update. So I'm waiting for NASDAQ to come into my trigger long. I'll be looking at adding Google down here. So anywhere between, honestly, this line and 12,121, which potentially would be another dollar to the downside on Google, or sorry, not Google, on NASDAQ. I want to bring up the charts here just to be certain. Um, there's a lot of different confluences. We want to look at SPY and QQQ. It looks like the SPY is pushing down into our next target, which is 400.69. So if you listen to me and you took those 400 puts on the downside, those are paying right now very nicely. Those are at 72 cents. And when called out, these were trading at, let's see here, they were trading at 38 cents. So almost a double, or sorry, almost, yeah, just a 100% there. But the cues and what I'm looking at is like, yeah, that makes sense. Like if we come down to the trigger long, my cues will be around 294 or the T2, and most likely we'll hit that 400 on SPY. And this is where I want to try to add into my Google trade. Still very small position, very, very small. And it's down 29% right now. And so I'd like to add to that long-term trade, which has 115 days. The strike on it is a 115. It's trading at a 92, so it's quite a bit out of the money. But I'm okay with that. And there's a couple different ideas here. If I get a push in the next 2 to 3 days, a bigger push in the market, then I can close these out of the monies for, let's say, profits or um, potentially buy closer to at the money. We really got to wait for that cycle. The cycle has to find itself in a demand zone. So it comes down into demand. Some demands may be broken, some demands will hold. And when we find that hold and it starts to round out, that's where we want to be taking those trades and adding into them and getting serious about them. Again, some people would rather just probably wait. For me, it's a cycle because we can't always time the market perfect, and some of these zones may or may not work. And if they do work, it's like a placeholder for me, and then I'll just add into that trade, if you will. Today, we kind of started out the day just shorting, going long, just using some of the techniques that I show you guys. But, at the end of the day, the bigger picture when you're focusing on this stuff is that you can come over here and look from a 5 minute perspective and really dive into the PMZ, and when you look at the PMZ trade, you'll go back, and you'll ask yourself, well, why didn't I just go short? I can't make this stuff up. Again, I think it's pretty straightforward. Um, once we broke down, I actually went short here into this level that I had at 402.27. Then I went long and I closed out. And now I'm long like a SPX Lotto. In order for that thing to work, you would have to have something weird just kind of pop up in the market, like a catalyst that was bullish. And that's why I put down here in the notes, no stop on this, zero is accepted. So what I paid is what my risk is. And I would expect, something to happen down here. We have two yellow bars on SPY. Let's see what the Qs are doing really quick. And again, this is such a small time frame, but again, timing is a variable. So it's kind of a sticky situation when you're trying to trade in these conditions. In my opinion, the biggest way to kind of fill it out is to not be afraid to execute, but you're also being very careful with your allocation amount. You don't want to like get revengeful or do something silly like, oh man, I'm just sick and tired of this market, so I'm going to, uh, you know, push it. We don't want to push it. We want to be careful because there are levels still below. And I think that's where, for me, it's important to kind of to wait it out and see if we can get down there before I start adding into by longer term trades. Okay, so we're just day trading right now. The idea is that you can kind of take off if you're long. A lot of you guys don't even trade swings, but if you do, the idea with the day trading is that you just kind of help yourself, along the way. Like, oh man, unrealized, I'm down 500, but I made 250 on the day, right? Something like that. Um, it's just fun. So it's a process. For me, it's a process of how do you say it, compartmentalizing these type of trades, and like in the back of my brain, if I were to have four little sections in here, one section is swings and I'm adding in, the other section is be aggressive and day trade, the other section is don't do anything, and the other section is go exercise or go do something, right? You can't make the market change. You can't, the more you stare at it doesn't mean it's going to move in your direction. So like, pick up some weights, man. Do your arms, right? Do some squats. Do something that's healthy for you. Um, because I sure the hell need to, right? I really do. I got this Peloton over here that's got dust on it. It used to be a fun thing. I would trade in the morning and then I would jump on the Peloton and ride for an hour, 30 minutes, something like that. And then I would, jump back on the market, and I found that 10:30 or so is the best time to jump on the Peloton. There's just like not much going on around those times. So just something to think about. Yeah, Dave, it's definitely trending down. I mean, it's underneath the PMZ. Yep. 65 to 100 is definitely possible, Austin, if we were to, let's see. Let's go back to our ES chart really quick. Been a while since we had 100 points down, hasn't it? Walmart's doing just fine. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And I think I said this last week, there's a possibility that we reverse ACDC here. You know, that would be really gnarly though, since we only have a week or so left in the market, but it's possible. This expected relief balance is around the demand zone, a previous demand zone in here that we keep coming into. And we're kind of, sort of trying here every once in a while with a point or two to the upside and then just kind of failing. They're using, as much catalyst as they can as firepower to kind of scare retail right now. And it's working. Green to white so far. So I didn't realize, but Meta had come down right into the 173.37 area again and popped all the way back up to 175.30. So this gave you another $2 to the upside. So that little zone's been working this morning. Apple sell signal here on the 5 minute. Looks like it could continue to push down the break underneath the PMZ. Pretty strong. Could see 148.27 if things don't turn around. And Walmart came all the way back from that demand zones up $1.34 on the day. And let's see here. We are literally just points away from my trigger. 158, so about 20 points or so. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah, I definitely have room to add it into Google. I'd like to see it at 90 before I add, but Ugh. Walmart's looking pretty solid. 146.65. I could try on a pullback to add in, but it should have been an add down here pre-market at 140, so I'm not gonna touch it. Money call and then selling out of the money call to help offset the theta decay while it chops around nice daily squeeze. NDX. What does that look like? It's kind of scary. Hmm. 12,100. So wait, selling the 12,100 and buying the 1290? That's at 370?